On the last All Out show, I talked to Mrhbee Smith, who did autopsies on aliens.
I was an active duty service member for the United States Air Force. I would go to work as a surgical tech, surgical first assist. And I was just happened to be part of a project where I got to see these beings and do autopsies on them. You know, I invented the first tabletop stem cell concentrator and the first tabletop platelet-rich plasma concentrator because I'm an astronaut with NASA as well. So, I mean, it's hard.
You're an astronaut with NASA?
Yes.
Are you afraid for your life?
Well, I had 3 assassination attempts in the last 12 months.
Also, I laid down the ground rules of the All Out Show, All Request Hour. Who you want to hear?
Busy Crook.
Busy Crook?
Yeah, Busy Crook. Never mattered.
All right, let's see how many listens. Let's see. 39,000 views in 4 years, bro. This is your homeboy or some shit? Or you just
yeah, somewhat.
Come on, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin this for everybody. You do these things.
Nah, it's cool. That's an ill song, bro.
All right, we'll give it a go. And now here's another episode of the All Out Show. Hey, you ever feel like shit for so long that when you only halfway feel like shit, you feel pretty awesome? That's me right now today. I'm figuring it out. No milk, no bread. Had a smoothie, and I've been eating this charcoal, which is kind of cool, but when I had the food poisoning with the charcoal, I was shitting and puking black. It looked like the fucking ring. Feeling pretty good today. I'm happy about it. Yeah. Feeling good today. I guess there's, we got like a, fucking sexual harassment shit I gotta go to today or something. I don't worry about that shit. You'll never catch me in the same room with a woman by myself. That's just the fucking way it is, dude. And if I am, the door is open. Chris, you ever see me with a chick in a room by myself here?
No, never.
Nah. Fuck that. Why you shrugging, John? I'm not getting caught out there.
You've never been in a room alone with a woman here? What?
Nope.
What?
Nah, no way.
That. No way.
Not a chance.
You've been in here alone with Alex.
Chris is here.
I'm always here.
I'm fucking petrified of that shit. What are you talking about, dude?
Later.
You'll see me skirt out of shit. I'll be like, swoop, 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 sweep, swoop, swap. Ours is a weird show, too, because we're so sexual that it's just like, when you're in studio, you're in studio. And if you're discussing the show, you're discussing the show. So
it's a conversation that I have with the interns. Just to make sure that I come after us.
Yeah, you do shit that, like, you do shit and I'm like, whoa, bro.
No.
Yeah, you do shit where, like, I don't like my job.
What are you talking about?
Remember when you asked the fucking male intern to practice hugging?
Yeah, he was all about it.
That would...
When you tell the story, it sounds terrible.
When it's time for you to do the meeting, ask about that. Be like,
I'm not going to ask about that.
Is it appropriate for me to practice hugging on male interns? Or any intern, for that matter?
That's not coming up. That is not...
What if my dick brushes his leg on accident?
I knew that guy. He was fine with it. But when
Were you wearing your extra loose, thin material fucking zip-away pants? So that... You feel the dick head on his fucking leg?
I was not hard for that.
Just a little soft one mushing on his thigh.
If HR is listening, this is being greatly exaggerated.
Is the guy doing it the one that looks like the dude that owns Virgin Airlines? There's some dude that looks like that's in the office that looks like he owns Virgin.
It's very soft-spoken.
Is it?
Have you ever come close to being accused of that?
I don't know, dude. No. I used to get sexually harassed all the time by my fucking... When I was working at McDonald's, this ex-crackhead that was a manager, she was always like... She'd always come and like put her hand on the small of my back and shit like that. It'd be, it's tight quarters back there, a lot of fucking ass grabbing and shit.
Did you ever think about it?
I don't know, it just depends on how you feel. I was just like, all right, this is fucking gross, but like, what am I gonna do? fucking make a big deal about it. Like, he just fucking deal, man. And then if it got too crazy, I'd be like, yo, hey. Forgot her name. Like Brenda. Like, Brenda, fuck you doing? But it's not like I was going to cake up off of McDonald's, you know? And I'm not the suing type. The only time I sued was when I got rear-ended. I got rear-ended in this this little fucking Chola nurse had like the cheapest insurance ever. And they rear-ended me, fucked up my neck. You know, I missed a couple of days of work and shit. And they hit me up. They're like, your settlement is going to be... And I'm waiting. I was like, you know, $500. I'll take it. Just, you know, whatever. They were like, your settlement is going to be $37. And I was just so offended by that. I was like, I'd have rather them just said zero. Like $37. I can't even take me and the person out to dinner with $37. It's like, nah, bro, we going to court. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial. I'll put that on there. Take to trial.
How is it so little bit?
I don't know, man. I was like real fucked up myself, you know?
Like, even when I rear-ended this lady and she took me to the cleaners, I ended up paying her like $7,000 for my insurance.
That's what I thought I was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get a couple racks. The least they was gonna throw me was $500 or some shit. $37, dog. That shit enraged me, and I was like, "Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Take that shit to trial." That's what I told him. I took that shit to trial. I got $1,000. Anyway, go everywhere I go. I get to talk to fucking two legends today, guys. This is going to be good. James Prince, or Jay Prince, the fucking founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, responsible for fucking just a ridiculous, he's one of the godfathers of rap. You know how you got like Russell Simmons and fucking Eazy-E type shit with Ruthless, that type of shit. I hate to shout out Jerry Heller, but he was part of that shit too. But like fucking this dude right here, Jay Prince, is a fucking legend. I get to talk to him. I'll try not to dick ride him too much. I hate talking to people I really look up to. Brett Rivers got a question about a fucking concert I went to last week. I went to a concert. What concert I go to?
Yeah, I thought you went to some like legendary rock concert this last Friday or so. You saw a bunch of bands and whatnot.
Oh, that was a replay. I went to go see the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, about the Eagles show.
Eagles and Fleetwood Mac. It was awesome.
Yeah, you listed all these sick bands, and I was like, dude,
Steely Dan.
how that was.
It was awesome. It was dope. Good job. They didn't even know Friday was a replay. They did that long weekend for us. All right, man, let's play some music. Come back with Jay Prince. We also have Boston George Jung. That's the dude from Blow. That and the news. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good show.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
Shay 45, I have a legend on the line. One of the fucking four-founders of rap music, Jay Prince. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing today?
Man, I'm all right. It's good to talk to you.
Hey, good to be here.
I just got your book yesterday. I was able to read a big chunk of it, and it's a page turner, man. It's really a page turner.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Let's just jump off into it. What were you doing before you got into the music business?
Oh, man, I used to have a car dealership. You know what I mean? I had a car dealership on a street called Shepherd Drive, and I outperformed every dealer on that street the year of 1980, the late 80s. So I was doing pretty good.
Now, you had a breakdown that made you want to get out of whatever it was you were doing and go straight with the record business. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a breakdown, but I definitely had a transition, and what it was answered prayer. You know what I mean? My street journey, you know, before I transitioned to corporate America, during my journey, I always was a praying man, and I asked the Lord before He would take my freedom or take my life to give me a sign. And in that closet was a confirmation of that sign that I had been praying for. And it was kind of difficult for me to embrace, but I did, and I never looked back.
Yeah, it was. I found that interesting, and
yeah,
what you were able to do, kind of flawlessly, was you were able to really marry your street smarts with the business world, which isn't always easy to do, but you were able to do it. What were some of the ways? Who were some of the people you learned from, and what were some of the techniques that you did in order to make that transition?
Well, my biggest method that I used was my faith. You know what I mean? It began with my faith, and then I also tapped into my whole reason for hustling, and that was to break the poverty curse where my family was concerned. You know, all of my childhood life, you know, I witnessed the struggle, I witnessed pain, I witnessed poverty, and you know, at the age of 8 years old, I vowed, you know, I put it on my shoulders that I'm going to be the one to break these poverty curses. And, you know, I did. And that's the power I tapped into to do that.
I read that you used the book Think and Grow Rich as kind of a go-to manual to get through some of these things.
Well, actually, I used the book Think and Grow Rich to, it brought structure. When I read that book, I had a lot of talents that I was unaware of, and I was doing things out of sync. And what that book done for me was it organized me. It taught me the importance of structure. You know what I mean? It revealed to me gifts that I had that I was unaware of. So, you know, that book is a great book as well.
Do you think one of your biggest gifts is the ability to spot talent? You saw Willie D. You acquired Scarface, who was DJ Action at the time from the Lil Troy.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
You were even able to. I was reading there was you even pulling people from all over the country. One of your original business partners was from Seattle, like a white dude from Seattle, and Reddy Red was from Jersey. You were able to pull all these people in. How do you spot talent? How do you see that?
Well, you know, I definitely have a gift where that's concerned, and I give a lot of that credit to my ears. You know what I mean? I can hear, definitely in my era. You know what I mean? I was able to hear and recognize a hit song, or hear and recognize an artist that wanted to be different from a lot of the the artists of that era, and that always caught my ear as well. So, you know, that was a gift, and I think that gift may have came from me listening to a lot of Motown music back in my day when, you know, my mother and aunties and all them played it every weekend.
Now, this is something I didn't know, because when I think of Houston, I think of it has such a strong hip-hop scene, such a strong rap scene. I didn't realize that in the late 80s that it was controlled by a lot of East Coast DJs, and you were having a hell of a time getting your own sound played in your own city. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, the radio station was monopolized by East Coast guys. You know, even in the clubs, you know, they would leave the radio station and work at the clubs, and, you know, they was monopolizing the clubs as well. And that didn't sit well with me. You know what I mean? It didn't sit well with me because the locals, you know, was frowned upon at that time because, you know, it was an East Coast movement. So anything that sounded country, didn't sound, you know, East Coast was frowned upon. And even when we performed in New York at that particular time, you know, they booed us because it wasn't ready for that underground sound that we had. You know, we had a hardcore underground sound where we were concerned, and it just wasn't ready for us at that time.
So how did you combat that?
Well, you know, I had to impose my my will upon them DJs by letting them know that this is unacceptable for you all to be in our backyard and not show us some respect. And ultimately, you know, a lot of them left, and we were able to embrace some of our own that was from where we was from, and, you know, they gave us a shot. That's all we wanted was a shot. You know, if the public didn't embrace us or didn't like us, I was okay with that, but I felt like we deserved a shot at least.
Being from the Midwest, we felt unheard as well. So seeing somebody from the South, such as Rap-A-Lot, do well, it kind of gave, I feel like it gave cities like Cleveland and Detroit, Milwaukee, Chicago, it gave us this hope, like, yeah, damn, like, look, man, they're doing it down south, and we really embraced the Rap-A-Lot records. Like, I had Raheem and shit, you know what I mean? Like, I had the Convicts, you know, like.
Oh, man.
So, did you feel that type of feedback when you did tour?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You know, I tell everybody that the Midwest is the first cities to embrace Rap-A-Lot. You know what I mean? And I, beginning with Chicago, you know, they embraced us before anybody down south embraced us. And, you know, for some reason, you know, the Midwest could relate to us, our struggles, our voice. You know what I mean? They received us first, and I'm forever indebted to them for that. You know, I really love the Midwest for the love they showed my movement in the beginning.
Larry Hoover actually reached out to you, and you two are friends now.
Yeah, definitely. Hoover reached out to me when I was in Chicago. I was here so often, and he invited me to come meet with him. And, you know what I mean, I embraced that invitation and went and met with the brother. And it was the first time I saw a brother that was in prison was dressed cleaner than I was. And I'm visiting him. You know what I mean? He got gator shoes and a Coogee sweater. You know what I mean? I got the picture in my book. It's unbelievable.
What was the main thing you learned from Larry Hoover? You've put yourself around so many influential people, and it seems like you've soaked up game from them as you go. What was the main thing you learned from Larry Hoover?
Well, one of the things that I was able to discover real quickly is that I was speaking with a man that had a lot of wisdom. You know what I mean? He was far from a fool, and I could tell he could think, because he and I, we took a walk for like an hour, and we was just he knew more about me than I thought he would. He knew more about my songs. He had been studying the songs, studying my intros, so you know what I mean. He could identify with my struggle, because I was being attacked by the feds at that time. I went to visit him, so I had opportunity, you know what I mean, to chop my struggle up with him. He chopped his up with me, and I could tell I was listening to a man that can think, and he left me with something that stuck with me the rest of my life. And it's simple, but after a man had done 27 years, and to be able to tell me, whatever you do, don't stop swinging at it. That really inspired me and motivated me to keep going and keep moving forward.
You also dealt with the president of Virgin Records. What did you learn from him? Like, on the totally flip side, what did you learn from the president of Virgin Records in the stories? In the book, he was supposed to meet with the Rolling Stones, canceled that meeting, flew out and saw you in the Fifth Ward.
Yeah, Ken Berry is his name. I learned to, there's a scripture that say you have not because you ask not. And it was confirmation where that scripture was concerned, because I asked Ken to cancel a meeting to come and meet with me after he told me he had a meeting with the Rolling Stones. And I was doing it, not really believing that he would do it. You know what I mean? I said it in a nonchalant way. I said, why don't you cancel that meeting and come meet with me? And shortly after, he done just that. He came to Houston and met with me. And what he left me with, and what I was able to get from him, one of the most important statements that he made at that meeting was, when you have a deal on the table, one of those once-in-a-lifetime deals or opportunities, waste no time on closing on that deal. And I took that advice and made a lot of money with that after the fact.
What struck me in the book was you have this mixture of humility and don't take no shit at the same time. I found that quite compelling. And you didn't get emotional in business. The cat from Priority tried to fuck you over, and then can you tell the story of what happened with that? And
yeah, well, I definitely feel that in the music industry, which is a cutthroat business, you have to have some balance. You know what I mean? It's okay to be humble, you know what I mean, because I am a humble person. I just don't like nobody trying to fuck me over. So there is a time and a place for everything. And, when I run into opposition or someone who trying to take advantage of me, I don't mind taking a stand. And, I explain a situation in my book where Priority was concerned, because, I had paid my dues in that situation, and I wasn't being given no kind of respect, no kind of adjusting like I knew I should have been given. So I got creative. And I finessed my way to a better situation. And when they read about it, they'll get the rest of it.
I'll give him a hint. He called up and told him what he was wearing. He called up from another state and told him what he had on, and that kind of helped move things along. And then the cool thing was you were able to go back and actually do business with him, because at the end of the day, this is all business. And I found that fascinating.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing how those in high places will even respect you more when you show them that you stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? It's almost like a bully. You know what I mean? A bully enjoys being a bully until you hit him in the mouth.
And then you guys can be friends.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't realize about Rap-A-Lot was one of the big reasons why you started it was to get your brother on. But then your brother he was having problems showing up to meetings, was getting involved in some stuff that wasn't all the way business related.
Right.
And you cut him from the label.
Yeah. And because he ultimately went and got himself 20-some years. And I saw him headed that direction. And, personal life is one thing, business is another. And I don't allow my feelings and emotions to get them mixed up. And, you know what I mean, in spite of, like, my family members, a lot of people that was close to me not understanding the decision I made until houses and cars later, I stood on that because I was trying to win, and, you know what I mean, I couldn't win with it. So it wasn't personal, it was business.
Where do you two stand now?
We cool, but he's back in prison. So it's hard for us to stand together while he's there, but I'm with him in spirit.
Does he resent you?
No. He loved me, and he has to respect what I've accomplished because this was his dream.
Let's talk about Drake. Drake was it you or your son that discovered Drake?
Oh, my son, definitely. Jazz Prince.
Okay.
He's the one who discovered him.
So, and you're involved with Drake, and recently Drake and Pusha T had a beef. They went back and forth for Tad. It was pretty. It became a nice competitive battle, and you told him to pump the brakes on it. Why?
Mm-hmm. Because, I like a good battle, right? I love a good battle. But when, the battle crossed the lines where music is concerned, then, somebody with some sense have to speak up. Because when you don't, that's what leads into dangerous situations.
Where did you see it cross the line?
Well, when it crossed the line, when a man disrespect a man's mother, then he go on to disrespect a man's father, and then he don't stop there. He go on and say, okay, well, let me take care of your dying friend. You know what I mean? Let me make fun of him as well. Those are situations that don't involve just Drake. So therefore, you're dealing with people other people outside of Drake that love, his family members and different things. So what's going to take place at that point is we're going to come together somewhere, and then that's how a Tupac and Biggie situation, is bred. When you fuel that type of fire. It ain't nothing good can come out of that one.
Speaking of Biggie, TMZ report said that you had you had a notion that people were plotting on Biggie, and you went and hollered at him at the Hypnotized music video. Is that true? And can you tell me a bit about that, if so?
Yeah. I was out in L.A. I think we was working on Scarface album. And I was on my way back to Houston when I got a call that Puff and Biggie was on set shooting the video. And I turned my bus around because, you know, I keep an ear to the street, and everybody that's beyond surface street deep, you know, knew that there was some friction in the air around Tupac getting shot in New York and also Tupac getting killed. So, you know, I wanted to alert Puff them, you know, to be careful. You know what I mean? So I went back, be careful, express I wouldn't even be there. You know what I mean? Because I know how the L.A. streets are firsthand. And after I spoke to Puff, I went to Biggie and basically told him the same thing. You know what I mean? Because I wanted them to, you're going to be there, be alert. You know what I mean? Have the proper army around you. And, you know, at the end of the day, that story didn't end well.
Were you surprised that they would go to New York, to Los Angeles after all of that?
Yeah, I was surprised, and I was even more so surprised of going there and not being properly secured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, I know Puff would do it different if he had another opportunity. He just, you know, he didn't see that coming.
All right. I consider you to be one of the, you're like one of the forefathers of rap, especially for like Southern rap. Really helped put it on the map. I'm going to throw some other names at you, and I'd love to hear your opinion on them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Luther Campbell.
Luke, a soldier. You know what I mean? He was one that was on the battlefield in my era, and he was an entrepreneur to the fullest. You know what I mean? He and I had the opportunity to kick it and politic together, and, you know, straight soldier.
Were you inspired by him? Because he was really on the scene.
Yeah, definitely I was inspired by Luke. You know what I mean? We were, you know, right there, neck to neck. So, yeah, when I'm inspired by any brother, you know what I mean, any person that's kicking ass and doing things. So most definitely.
What about Suge Knight? You mentioned that you're going to do business with him, and then in the next sentence you said you don't have to like somebody to do business with them. And then I was reading more in the book. You alluded to that the gentleman that was run over by the truck, you had bought a car from him.
Yeah.
Can you what was your relationships, if any, with Suge, and what was that like?
Well, you know, I knew Suge, you know, from way back. Kind of introduced to him through Harrio, and I hadn't met him, but on the phone. And you know, this was around the time that Death Row was being created. You know, Harrio had called me and you know, kind of congratulate me on what I had done and what I was doing with Rap-A-Lot. And that's when I asked him, I said, man, you still got some juice, you know what I mean, in the streets of L.A. I said, you should get Dr. Dre. He's a genius. You know what I mean? Get Dr. Dre. And, you know, that's when some kind of way he and Suge, I don't know how they connected, but I found myself on the phone with, you know, me, Harrio, and Suge, and he was introducing them to me. And, you know, the dude was a little rowdy. You know, at the time, Harrio was in prison. We're on a three-way call, and I'm hearing this guy talk about some things that I don't want to be on the other end on the phone on. So, you know, I got off the phone. When Harrio called me back, I let whoever was listening say, I ain't down with none of that was being said. And ultimately, you know what I mean, I kind of bagged out of that situation because I saw a time bomb being developed. You know, other than that, you know, he and I had developed somewhat of a association. You know what I mean? And we had kind of brainstormed on doing a few things. One of them was me, him, and Mrhbee spoke about, a black distribution company. And then right before, I guess, the state or whoever filed bankruptcy on him, he and I had done a greatest hit project for Scarface and Tupac, a Tupac Scarface greatest hit that we named Two-Face. And, shortly after I done that deal with him, they pulled that bankruptcy move. And, I had to get my money back from him that I had gave him in advance where that deal was concerned.
What about Baby?
Baby is somebody that, I considered family, you know what I mean? Someone that was a student of mine, someone that I inspired and motivated to, to leave the streets and come into this game. And, I personally, I still could embrace him, as a friend, maybe someday. But business-wise, I'm not feeling too well about him. And until, he do right by my son, that can only get worse.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna throw some rappers at you. Do you think? Let me just, for people that don't understand, Jay Prince. I'm gonna read 1992 to you. Gangsta Nip, Raheem, Bushwick Bill, Willie D, Ghetto Boy, Seagram. That was 92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite year?
Oh, I don't, man.
Or was it just? Was it a blur?
Yeah, man. I don't have. I enjoyed all of those years, but if I had to choose a favorite year, it would be the Mind Playing Tricks era, because everything prior to that was like almost like a pressure building situation. And finally, we were able to kick all the doors, the obstacles, everything before us on that Mind Playing Tricks era.
Is that so? I think we might have Killer Mike on the phone. Hold on a second. Killer Mike.
Hey, what's up, Jude? How you doing, Jay? Ultimate respect to both y'all, man. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Mike? How you doing, homie?
Look, man, I was coming out the county office to get my concealed carry permit. I said I can't keep running around here with a gun, and I might be illegal. And coming out, y'all on the radio, man. So I just had to call in and pay my respect again. Again, like I told you in Atlanta, you give people their roles while they're alive. So everybody in the world who out there listening, this is more than a record executive. This is more than just a business scholar. This person really taught me morally. When you compliment me, you listening to a product of the morality he dropped on the front of them tapes. And both of the books are crazy. Jay's, yours, and of course, Rule's, both of your books. So that's all. Just pay respect, saying love and respect, man. I'm gonna get back to listening.
Hold up, Killer Mike. Let me ask you something, because you're from the South. You remember I remember fucking. It was just New York and it was L.A. and then if it wasn't coming out of that cosign, then you were kind of getting shitted on. What did Rap a Lot mean to you, listening in Georgia?
In Georgia, it was like, you got to look at it. It's like right now, Atlanta, the sound of Atlanta and people coming through Atlanta is like the gateway to the rest of the world. But at that time, if you were from the South, if you weren't from Miami or Houston, you didn't know what a record company was, because they had Luke Skywalker records at that time, which became Luke records, and they had Rap a Lot records. And for me, I was never good at popping and locking it. So as much as I like New York music, I couldn't break dance, and as much as I love Miami, we weren't thugging like that. And when I heard rap a lot, I was hearing gangster music, and that's I was drawn to rap a lot for that reason, because it was gangster music. But unlike L.A., it had a morality to it that L.A. gangster music did. Gangster music out of L.A. was intelligent, and it was dope. But that was a morality that was in gangster music out of rap a lot that was just different. So when you talking about the Midwest at that time, when I heard groups like the Dayton Family or even Esham them, I felt like I was hearing people that had been influenced. I like rap a lot, you know what I mean? So I love rap a lot then. I love rap a lot now. I love it forever because it's gangster music, but it's something that's church and Southern, and like Red Clay about it.
It's kind of interesting that you bring that up, Killer Mike. Thank you. I remember it might have been on the We Can't Be Stopped. Was you had all this gangster shit, and then you had a song about anti-abortion on there.
Yeah, we had to cover it all, man. You know what I mean? We were ghetto boys, so you know what I mean. I want to use that as a podium to speak for ghetto voices and ghetto girls and boys all around the world, and that's what we done. We went to some uncomfortable places sometimes, but they were places that our people was dealing with, and we wanted to be that voice.
I feel like he spoke on Esham. I feel like Esham and Gangsta Nip were like two of the forefounders of that horrorcore rap, which you see a lot of people borrowing from. How did you find Gangsta Nip, and what did you think of him when you first heard him? Man, Mike is a real intelligent and well-versed student of the game. For him to go back and remember Esham is amazing to me, man, because, I remember that brother. I want to sign it. But I met Nip, to answer your question about Gangsta Nip. I met him in a bathroom in a club. And the man, spit something to me, saying somebody would throw up something in Tokyo, and, I was like, man, this dude here is wild. You know what I mean? So I said, come on, man. Come on, I'm going to welcome you to the family. Who was your favorite rapper that you signed?
Man, if I had to choose a favorite, you know what I mean, it would definitely be Scarface. Do
you feel like he's the best rapper ever?
Well, I can't say he's the best rapper ever, but he's definitely one of the best. You know what I mean? No doubt about it. He's one of the best.
Who, Vanilla Ice got away from you. Is there any other rappers that, like, you had a chance to sign that you wish you would have grabbed?
Yeah, I wish I would have grabbed Too Short. I think I had a real strong chance of shooting my shot at him, and I didn't, because of my staff. I had some females along with another guy running my company at the time, and they didn't embrace that bitch word. Too Short could say bitch so creatively until it would bother them. And I listened to them, and I'm like, okay, y'all run this and do it y'all way.
It's kind of funny that it's funny where people draw the line. You were dealing with Rick Rubin, who had all this like devil worshiper fucking satanic metal, and Geffen had a problem pushing y'all shit because you were gangster shit. Like it's funny where people find the offense.
Well, and even deeper than that, it's funny where racism stick his head up at. You know what I mean? Because it was definitely, like you say, that content where Deaf America artists, the heavy metal artists and different things was what we would consider worse than what we were doing. But, I can't tie that into nothing but racism because they were white and we were black.
It's interesting. Yeah. It was really different times back then. I feel like a lot of people don't understand like how on the fringes rap music was at that time. It was actually a subculture. Now you've watched rap become pop. What do you think of that? And has that helped the music progress, or do you feel like it's taken away from the music?
Well, I lyrical content and music is something I never, try and control. Once you put it out there, it's something to go anywhere. And I never have been a person that want to keep it in a box. You know what I mean? Or say it needs to just stay right here. You're in violation if you take it there. You know what I mean? I just never wanted to, police it in that manner. So, I don't have a problem with artists being able to diversify themselves, become a pop artist, or, vice versa.
We got a gang of people who want to talk to you. You want to take some phone calls?
Let's do it.
888-742-3345. We got Jay Prince, his new book, The Art and Science of Respect. It's really a very good read. You really get to see kind of like inside of how to build something long lasting. A lot of people, you know what I meant to mention? I forgot. What I found fascinating is you wanted to make money outside of rap a lot. And you bought a ranch and you sell fucking hay, and you're caking up off of hay.
Yeah. No, that's a true statement. And, all the years, my life, I thought in order to make money off of grass, you had to sell weed until I, bought this 1,000-acre ranch and got in the hay business. That hay sells just as good as weed, man.
You don't got to give me exact number, but like, what are you doing? What are you doing a year on hay?
Well, a quarter of a meal. You know what I mean? It's not astronomical, but it's something that pays the bills around the ranch. You know what I mean? Keep it on autopilot.
Fucking love that shit. I love that. And you're also doing publishing. I was reading about how you did that. You had a producer. He ended up going fucking with Irv Gotti and doing a bunch of songs with Ja Rule and Ashanti, and you just kind of sat back, let him make all those fucking songs, and you owned this publishing.
Yeah, it's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? And I just, allowed, everybody to get the job done and, perfect all the records that was perfected. And after then, I let it be known, you know what I mean, that I was the owner. And there was no problems on, nobody in, you know what I mean? We got together like gentlemen, and we worked that situation out.
Yeah, they seem very like everybody got their money. I thought it was very well played on your part, and kudos to you. You kind of let them play their hand, and then just you collected the chips.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing, and if you remember those songs and remember those albums, who would want to have interrupted, you know what I mean, that situation? It was beautiful.
Let's go to the phone lines. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. Let's go to Clump. Go ahead, Clump.
Hey, how you doing, Rude? Love the show.
You got Jay Prince.
How you doing, sir? I'm coming from Louisville, Kentucky, man. And I've been doing this music thing for about 12 years now, really about 15. I made it to a point last year where I feel like I really had the city together and was going to have a movement. But as you know, with this game, we run into these snakes, and not necessarily snakes, but bad business. And I heard you say that you had to force your will upon the, DJs to make them, kind of get in line. But as a guy who's coming from a nonviolent point of view, who's coming from a point of view of bringing love to our city, to a point of view of where people know their value and worth, but yet coming from a small-minded place, kind of like Houston, we're a growing city, but we're kind of behind on the times. Like, or is it possible? Well, man, now I'm 30 and my bag's kind of ran out. I got to build the bag back up and then make another run at this. How is it possible, or what do I need to do and focus on to get people to come together and fall in line to a movement? Because everybody's got the dream, but nobody's connecting.
What was What was your main thing to get people behind your movement? I guess was a quick question for that.
Yeah, no, I feel a brother. You know what I mean? I feel him. I was in that exact situation, and everybody have different styles on how they get things done. You know what I mean? And by no means am I a person that practice violence or practice any of that kind of behavior to get something done. But on the other hand, I ain't and don't be in a mood where to allow one to play with me and mine as well. But to answer the brother's question, is you have to get like-minded people, together where your movement is concerned. And it's one thing to say you like-minded with a pair of lips, but it's another thing to be in the midst of the storm and being able to stand. So during my journey, everybody that started off with me wasn't there at the finish line. You know what I mean? I had to cut off and dismiss different situations until I put the team together that was real soldiers. And you call it a process of elimination. And, sometimes that can take a little longer than we would like it to take. It took me 7 years. I tell everybody the music game is a game that will run the week off. You know what I mean? You can't withstand these pressures and different things where the music game is concerned being weak. So, you just have to keep on doing that process of elimination, man, till you get it right.
Yeah, you seem, from what I read, you seem open-minded about letting people come in and do their part, but then you also seem surgical, like a surgeon, almost cold-hearted in a way. And I don't mean that in a bad way either. Just surgical on, like, okay, this is not working out, and and you have to go. I found that to be a strength of yours.
And in order to survive in a cutthroat business like the music game, you better be that way. You know what I mean? Because you can't be weak, man. You know what I mean? You can't be weak, and you can't have your feelings and emotions wrapped around this game because it'll break you.
Were there any rappers like that where you had to let them go? That you actually
over and over again. That's how I got it right, by letting people go. Letting that go that I know.
What was the hardest one?
Make no money with.
What was the hardest one?
My brother.
Your brother was the hardest.
Brother.
That was the.
Yeah.
What was the second hardest?
It don't get no closer than that. The second hardest.
Was it you and Scarface is on his own now, correct?
Yeah.
What was that split like? Because you guys fucking were.
I don't really consider that a split. You know what I mean? That was a situation with me and Face. Me and Face was together for over a decade, and I evolved and went a different direction, and gave him my blessings to go the direction he wanted to go. So that's kind of how that went. You know, it wasn't a situation where we left on bad terms.
Let's go to TJ in Ohio. TJ.
What's going on, man? Much respect to both of y'all. I was just wondering what was disrespectful of what Drake said, but it wasn't disrespectful what Pusha T said, but it was disrespectful what Drake said.
You mean like about mentioning Pusha T's girl?
The wife and the mother and all that.
Yeah.
Why was it different for one but not for the other?
Well, Drake never said anything about the man's mother that I know of. And most of all, he never was vulgar about anything that he said. You know what I mean? If you listen to what he said, there wasn't no vulgarness tied to it at all. This dude, you know, crossed the tracks, crossed the bridge, you know what I mean, went under the water, under the dress. You know, he went everywhere he could go, all the way to the pig pen where Drake was.
Ain't that what a diss is, though?
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, ain't that what a diss is? Tupac's first line was like, well, I fucked your bitch.
Well, no, that's what a diss is if you want to play that game. You know what I mean? But that wasn't a game we were willing to play, so that's why the diss ended. Other words, if me and you have a fight, we get into a one-on-one as me and you, then I see your mama come out the house and I whoop your mama, then I go whoop your daddy, and then I go, you know what I mean, criticizing your dying friend, then, you know, a whole lot of other people going to try to get at my ass about that, right?
You're right.
That's going to go beyond us, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, and that's all I was trying to prevent, it going beyond that, because if it was just a one-on-one between them two, shit, I welcome that. If he got on Drake, I'd be like, hey, man, get your ass up and get at him.
Where do you stand with Pusha T right now?
I mean, I don't have a problem with Pusha T.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I understand Pusha T better than a lot of people may understand. You know what I mean? I understand what that man was trying to do.
What was he trying to do?
Yeah, he did what he was trying to do. It's almost like he shot every bullet in his clip, and he didn't care. You know what I mean? And I understood that to be exactly what it was, and all I wanted to do was prevent us not caring on this situation, on this side, because, you know, that's a problem.
I felt, too, you stepping in actually helped you sell more books.
Well, I hope it did. I hope all of it made dollars and cents, but for sure it helped Drake sell more records where his album is concerned, because, you know, I feel like if he would allow a moment to stop his movement and jump in the pig pen with this man and do some of the things that I know he would have done, then he would have got out of his character.
Do you plan on doing the Ghetto Boys movie? The biopics seem to be pretty popular right now. Do you think there's enough interest in the Ghetto Boys to do it?
Well, I don't know about the Ghetto Boy movie.
Okay.
You know, I don't know about that one, but I am like entertaining a lot of conversations around my book and what I have done. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, whatever makes sense. You know, I'm a player.
What's your all right? So we hit on the Drake shit, the fucking face shit. Now I want to just know your taste. All right, because I got fucking J Prince Rap a Lot. What do you think? What do you think your most slept on Rap a Lot release was? Like, what release do you feel like shit people should go back and give a second listen to?
Oh man. You know, I go directly to this group called the Art Squad.
That was Devin the Dude's first.
Yeah, with the group. Devin the Dude, Blind Rob, and the other homie. Forgot his name, but yeah, Before Their Time. That was one of them albums that was before their time.
The Odd Squad.
And also Big Mello as well.
For bone hard zagging.
Exactly.
That was another one. One of my favorite releases from Rap A Lot was Something Serious, Big Mike.
Yeah, definitely. Big Mike was, you know what I mean? That album was a hot album.
What was your favorite Scarface album?
Oh, man.
I talked to Face, and he's so critical of all of his shit. And I'm just like, what are you, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, this is a classic. He's like, nah, that song's no good. No, I'll be like, listen, nah, man, listen to it. He's like, nah, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, you have to understand Face, you know what I mean? Face is, you know, he may wake up on different sides of the bed sometimes.
That's probably why it's so good when you're able to be critical of yourself.
Exactly. You know, I don't know, man. That Untouchable seemed to really jump out at me, but it could have been another one. But definitely Untouchable.
Jay Prince, it was a pleasure chatting with you, man. Really an honor. You did a ton for Houston, and you did a bunch of rap, and just beyond Houston, places like where I'm from, we were really inspired by Rap A Lot, and I want to thank you for everything.
Hey, man,
you did for
likewise,
rap.
man. Yeah, likewise, and I appreciate you having me, man.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna end with the old fucking Raheem track just for the fucking fun of it. This one was called Death in the Arena, and I thought it was really cool because he just dissed every rapper out there, and it was kind of cool to see a guy just shoot a shot at everybody. So we'll end with Death in the Arena. This is Jay Prince. The book is in stores. Go grab that shit right now. The Art and Science of Respect. If I know you was out here in L.A., but if you get back, I'd love to have you back and just talk some music with you, man.
Hey, man, be a pleasure, homie.
All right, that's Jay Prince, y'all, and here's Raheem. Let's go.
With Rude Jude on demand.
All right, shout out to Jay Prince. Coming up next. Yet, here we go. Trying to play off that fuck up. Nope, didn't work out. Yet another one. Boston George Jung. You might know him as the dude from Blow. That whole movie Blow was about him, and I talked to him about it. Yeah, buddy. Don't go anywhere. Boston George talking about the dope game. 888-742-3345.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
Shave 45. I'm here with Boston George Jung. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
For anybody that doesn't already know, you had a whole movie made after you. One of my favorites, Blow.
Yeah, it's kind of astounded me after I got out of prison after 20 years, and I really had no idea that people were still watching it after 20 years. So, I mean, it's incredible.
What did that movie get right, and what did the movie get wrong?
It got basically about 90% right. And, you know, some of the things were wrong, and which really was no consequence. Some of the stuff about my daughter was wrong, and me hallucinating in the prison yard working on the flowers and was wrong also. I mean, I may have hallucinated other places, but
right.
You know, that didn't happen. And as far as me trying to do the last drug deal to go away with my daughter and this and that was not really true, because, you know, I had years ago before that I crossed over the line and into, I was a smuggling addict, actually. That's what I after thinking all over 100 years later, that the money was everything in the beginning, and then the money became irrelevant, and it was the thrill that I was a thrill junkie, and
smuggling
so basically that was an addiction, but everything else in the movie was basically true.
What's your favorite way to smuggle? Did you have like any favorite tricks?
The favorite tricks were, I don't know if people are aware of this, but there was no drug enforcement agency until 1974, and so crossing the border, but in airplanes was basically by sea was basically easy, and but I never wanted to tell anybody that because I didn't want the whole world jumping into the game. So, but and then even after 1974, when the DEA came on board and they started to find out what was happening, they were overwhelmed. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was just so much going on, so much coming into the country.
I mean, Miami was like the drug capital of the universe, and all of South Florida, the whole economy in the 70s was fueled by drugs.
So you would say Miami is a city that cocaine built?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, there were times when General Reno was the state's attorney for Miami at that time, and the Colombians were getting arrested, and they had no papers or anything. She was giving them $5 million, $10 million bonds, which they were posted in a matter of an hour.
Man, you got arrested in Chicago for smuggling.
Right.
You was getting the weed from Chicago, or you were running the weed to Chicago?
We ran the weed from Mexico, and they took it to Chicago, and I was dealing with a guy in Chicago whose father owned Listener Scrap Metal. I don't know if it's still in business today, but he's a wealthy kid from super wealthy family, and I used to stay at the Playboy Club on Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in there one afternoon, and I got a tap on the shoulder. I was talking to this Playboy bunny, and thinking I was going to take her up to the Playboy room, and I turned around. It was two guys in suits, and they said, "Would you step outside for a minute? We want to talk to you, George." And I knew they were cops, and in fact, they were FBI, and they said, your friend David Listener was involved in something more serious, and he decided to turn you in to save his ass. But they told me, they said, we're not really interested in marijuana guys. He said, we got you, and he said, we're going to take you to a place called Cook County Jail, and they said, you don't want to go there, boy. And I said, you want to make a phone call with your lawyer, try to get bail. We'll take you before we take you there. And they were right about that shit. I was the only white kid in the block.
Yeah.
And there were the Blackstone Rangers there and everything. And I figured, well, they're either going to kill me or love me. And so in the end, they stood by me and they loved me. But it was an experience, and I wanted to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
From that arrest, that's where you met your next partner that brought you in to the cocaine trade, correct?
Right. Well, ironically enough, I ended up getting 5 years. This is before the draconian mandatory drug sentences ever came into being, and that was basically 5 years for dealing or smuggling, and you did 1/3 of it. They had a parole system, and so I was there 20 months. They sent me to Danbury, Connecticut, and as I said, the government put me in the same cell as this Colombian kid, and I'd never been to Colombia, and I knew nothing about cocaine. I was just a marijuana smuggler out of Mexico, and we started talking, and he asked me, he said, "Do you know anything about cocaine?" And I said, "No." And I said, "Tell me about it." And he said, "It costs $60,000 a kilo in the United States." And I said, "How much down there?" And he said, $3,000 to $5,000. And I said, "You know what, Carlos?" I said, "You and I are going to be partners." And that's how it all started.
Did you ever meet Escobar?
Yeah, numerous times.
What are your thoughts on him?
He had a rule that you had to live by if you wanted to deal with him. And it's a simple rule, but it's a rule that dates back to the Stone Age. If you betray me, I'm going to kill you. And, I mean, anybody of power or whatever, anybody who ever betrays them doesn't last very long on the planet one way or another. And you'd have to be a fool to go into business with a person like that and betray him. And I mean, he had something that I wanted, and I had something that he wanted, which was airplanes and the ability to get into the United States. And so we never had any problems, except towards the end when he started to become really, really radical and violent, and as far as blowing up an airliner, and that wasn't my taste. I wasn't in that for doing that shit, and that wasn't my game. And I began to see that he had become so radicalized to the point, and he had $1 billion, and I said, "Why don't you just take your family and get the hell out of here?" And he said, "I will die here." And I said, "Jesus Christ." And I knew that was basically the beginning of the end.
Your partner in the movie fucks you over.
Yeah, he did. But, it's an old story. It's a game you play. And in the beginning, it's okay. And you can, like I told Escobar, "Why don't you just take the money and go?" I mean, why didn't I take the hundreds of millions that I had and go? And eventually, the longer you stay in the game, the more vulnerable you become. And that's, if I had just gone on and taken the money and left, and I mean, he wouldn't have the chance to fuck me over. But if somebody's out to fuck you over, they're going to get you one way or the other, or you're going to go crazy wondering when they're going to do it.
So but then you end up testifying against him,
right? Because they came to me, and then I said, "No, I would never do that." And then somebody showed me the front page of the Miami Herald, and he had written a letter to George Bush offering to testify against the whole cartel and give the whereabouts of all the hidden bank accounts and the labs and the landing strips, and then I got the word from Pablo, "Go ahead and fuck him." So, that was a distasteful moment in my life, but it happened, and basically, I didn't want to keep it a secret, and I didn't want to live with it as a secret, and that's how Book Blow came out, and then it progressed to a movie. But Carlos eventually ended up testifying against Noriega and a bunch of other people, and he's somewhere still in the witness protection program, and in jail. And I mean, I think he's done more than enough time. They should let him out. And I just wish him to have the rest of his life in peace. But I don't think it looks positive for him to get out of there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There,
he did an interview with Barbara Walters in the jungle, and when they started the extradition from Colombia, and he said, "For every day I'm incarcerated in the United States, I'll kill a federal judge." And that's written in stone. It's never going to go away, what he said.
Do you miss the drug trade?
You know what? I miss the freedom of being young, and the magnificence of the times that I had. And now I'm old and weary as hell, but I just have to deal with that every day. And it's okay, because, you can't bring back the past, and you can't bring back yesterday because it's not here today. And, you know,
have you tried the new Coke?
I have my own movie inside my head. You know, I can think back on all the adventures in the Hawaiian Women song, and it brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, you must have been a rock star, huh, George?
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of rocks, and I was a Coke star.
Yeah.
You know, but we had the best Coke on the planet, and it burned, and it was pure. We didn't cut it. Believe me, we were invited to every party in Hollywood, and non-stop around the clock.
I bet.
And women love two things: they love cocaine, they love to shop. After that, it's all paradise.
So he was doing all right. Did you ever knock down any celebrities?
There's quite a few, but I'm not going to list them. I don't want them coming knocking at my door.
It's just the two of us. No one else can hear.
Join
us too.
She'll put me in the Me Too movement. You know.
It sounds to me like you've lived a full life, and it doesn't sound like you have any regrets.
Regrets are of no consequence. I mean, how much? What are regrets worth? When I did all of this, I lived in the moment and for the moment, and you know, and there were, you know, you asked me about the movie, and there were a lot of times that, you know, I got knocked off the horse, but they didn't put that in the movie when you get knocked off the horse. They only show the hero when he's riding the horse. But I just.
What do you mean you got knocked off the horse? Give me an example. Right? How so?
Well, you know, cheated, used and abused, lied, fucked over, you know, ripped off here and there. But I kept getting back on the horse.
Yeah, in the movie you're portrayed as kind of like a nice guy, almost too nice for the drug game. Was that a fair portrayal of you?
Yeah, it was pretty fair. I mean, but you know, there was also a dark side to me too. I mean, but you know, we're not going to go into that.
I wish they would have showed a bit more of that in the movie, to be all the way frank. Because I was like, God damn, he keeps getting fucked over by everybody.
Not everybody, but a few here and there. But you know, that's Hollywood for you, right?
Yeah, I guess they wanted to paint you as a
all-American boy.
Yeah, a sympathetic character.
Yeah, I never wanted anybody ever to feel sorry for me. You know, that's a fucking wasted energy. And I had a goddamn good time, even though I spent all that time in prison. I have no regrets. And believe me, you know, it's like a judge asked me at sentencing, he said, when you were 32 years old, he said you had over 100 million, maybe more, we don't even know about. And he said, that's like $1 billion now. He said, why don't you just take it and go away? Nobody even knew who you were.
Yeah, I guess I always wonder, like, stuff like that. You never just bury a couple million in some spot and leave a treasure map?
You know what? I put it in the banks and transferring it to Switzerland, Bank of Nova Scotia in Panama. And I don't know if you remember when we invaded Panama and took out Noriega.
Yeah.
Well, the reason we did is because he nationalized the banks after he went crazy on too much goddamn good coke, and a lot of the CIA money was in there too to fund the war in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Bush went down there. He went after him, and basically it was a depressing day when I found out the money was gone. But as far as treasure maps and buried it somewhere, everybody wonders, and maybe there is and maybe there isn't. It's better to wonder than to know, isn't it?
I'd say it's better to know, but I understand why you'd want people to wonder, Boston George.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Boston George is going to be at the Crowfoot Ballroom tomorrow in Pontiac, Michigan. Tickets $25. It's a meet and greet, Q&A. What was that? Have you been doing a lot of these, or is this your first one? How many of these have you done?
Oh, I've done numerous ones. All the hemp festivals.
Wish you the best. Thanks for talking with us, Boston George. That's Boston George Jung. You might know him from Blow. And if you are in Michigan, go see him tomorrow at the Crowfoot in Pontiac. Tickets $25.
I'll be there. Okay, and thanks for the interview.
No doubt. Hey, have you tried any coke lately? How does it measure up?
You know what? I'm not allowed to do it because they test me.
Oh, those bastards! Well, as soon as you get off parole, you let me know.
Okay, who's gonna help who? You or me?
We're gonna have to wonder.
You just bring the spoon, okay, baby?
There it is. That's Boston George, y'all. Let's go.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
Shave for fifth. Full show today. Look at that. Everybody. Hey, you want to hear some news? John's got news. Eight ways that show if you're smart or not. 8 ways. Can't wait to see if I fucking fit into that. Because I'm an idiot. Fucking idiot. But if this study says otherwise, then I might be smarter than I think I was. Ha. Got that, and then this fucking... You're going to show me a video of some dude getting gored by a bull? Yeesh.
Cashless society as well.
Fuck, son. And man, I hate cashless societies. I like cash societies.
How much do you have on you right now?
Not that much, probably like $70. But this is the other shit, bro. Like,
I don't think I've ever had $70 in my pocket. Sorry.
That's because you're a loser. You're a fucking loser, John.
Who has $70 in their pocket in this building right now, except for like the executives? Seriously, nobody.
John, you're a loser.
Sorry, fine.
John, you're like 47 years old, and you've never had $70 on your person. Think about that.
Maybe. I doubt it. Why would I need $70 in my? What? Come on, it's not that bad.
You're pathetic.
I didn't mean to distract you. Sorry.
And then this show, like, you got cats just walking around with everything on them.
Yeah,
they walking around. They ain't been home in 5 days. They've been at the trap. They got fucking racks on them. Yeah, like when I went out of town, I had, I don't know, like $1,500 cash on me.
That is just, that's crazy.
You never know. You might be in a pickle, and I end up using some of it. So there you go. Unless you get into the Bitcoin, and even that, they can trace that shit now. They can tell your little fucking code. Like, cash is the one way where they can't track you. Isn't that kind of good? I won't harp on it on the news, but it's just something to think about. Like, it's the one way where you can still be anonymous. They can't track your cash, bro. Unless you got like marked bills or some shit like that. But other than that, you're fucking golden, man. I like that. Just on sheer paranoia. All right. News is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
And now, it's time for News from the Chin with John Z. Matthews.
I have 8 signs here that you could be smarter than you think you are. Just various things about your life that are going on.
All right, let's find out.
All right.
John, Jude, are we smarter than we think we are? Chris, let's find out right now.
Number 1, Your desk is a mess.
That you're fucking. So far, you're a genius.
See? Well, the idea is that this is sort of a creative environment, this cluttered desk, and it's just a sign of creativity. I don't know if that's true, but I'll take it.
Well, then Alex is an idiot, and you're a fucking genius.
The desk isn't that messy. It really isn't. I don't think that anyone can argue that anymore.
Since Alex has come on to help, your desk has gotten better, but it was pretty. I gotta tell you, I would come in and it would put fear in my heart. Like, that's the last thing you want is a nervous host. Like, I would just look at your desk and be like, what are we gonna do? Like, what's today's show gonna be?
See, but isn't that your problem? I mean,
I guess so. I guess so.
No,
Sounds like it's a YP and not an MP, huh? Fuck me. All right, what else? Give me another one there, Johnny.
You swear a lot. You curse a lot.
Well, that's me. Chris, you're dumb.
Yep.
And he's like, Jiminy Crickets.
Dumb as nails.
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
So,
John, you don't cuss that much, do you?
More than I should.
Yeah.
But
more now.
Yeah.
Now that you've been on this show, you cuss more now.
I don't think I can ever go back to terrestrial radio. I mean, I would curse all the time.
All right.
But they're saying here, contrary to popular belief, those who were well-versed in swear words also had a more expansive vocabulary and a better grasp of language.
Boom. Look at that. All right, what else?
You sleep in?
Nope, I'm dumb. I couldn't sleep in if I tried.
On the weekends, you don't go for
Just
it?
wake up at like 7.
Really?
It's fucking awful.
And you get up? You get out of bed?
And I just lay there and say, why? Why? Like, God, just, if you're out there, have mercy on me. Let me fucking sleep. Please.
Evidence has now been published that people who are more intelligent tend to go to bed later and get up later.
There you go. Fucking moron. What else?
You're a little anxious. If you worry a lot, your anxiety just might be a sign of high intelligence, according to Slate, an authority on intelligence.
Jewish people smart as hell, and they all go to psychiatrists and shit. Motherfuckers be anxious as hell.
Are you still seeing a therapist?
Yeah, I'll see him Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it working?
I don't know. I don't think an hour is long enough for a therapist. Like, you just get going. It's tough, man. I haven't had this one. Like, there's been times where I I finally get to a point, like, I'm fucking crying and talking, and I'm like, okay, time's up.
Crying. Crying. All right.
I don't know if you read my book, but I've kind of had a tumultuous childhood, and it haunts me to this day, and I'm still processing it.
Well, I'm glad you're dealing with it.
Well, 45 minutes you get it out. Sometimes you build, and the worst part is like you be all fucked up and you see him looking at the clock. You're like, for real, dog? Like, for real?
How'd you find this person?
I don't know. I got United Healthcare, so I just go on their fucking site and just start calling people. Half the people won't even call you back. They say therapy isn't a good business. You don't make that much money. It's like psychiatrists, you do. You fucking crush. Writing up scripts.
Also, you could be smart if you like to drink.
John, so far you are a smart motherfucker.
Killing it.
What about GHB? Does it say anything about drinking GHB?
You experimented with drugs when you were younger. Nailed it.
And into your 40s.
They're saying about the booze.
I need some dark web people to hit me up on a DM. I need to find something new to do. Just saying.
Beyond GHB?
This is 5-MeO DMT I want to look into.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's just a bunch of letters that sounds kind of fucking good together. So Take that for a test spin.
Also, you're blonde. It looks like a study.
You're blonde?
Blonde. Blonde people are smart.
That just cuts out a whole fucking... That cuts out 80% of the world.
A study of nearly 10,000 Americans found that natural blondes have IQs slightly higher than their darker-haired friends.
Damn.
But
John, you spewing low-key white supremacy.
It's not me. What is this from? I don't know.
Well, Nicki Minaj just heard. All right, Nicki Minaj, you good? Or does she got pink hair now? I can't even keep up.
But to be clear, they're saying that the difference is too small to be statistically significant.
But we just thought we'd mention that.
just in case.
We just thought we'd bring that up. None of us in here are blonde either. Fuck. All right. Was that it? That's all? So messy desk, blonde hair, cusses a lot, tries drugs.
Sleeps in.
Sounds like a fuck up to me, dude.
Yep. Well, that's why they're unexpected signs you're smart.
There you go.
Now, there's a growing backlash against this cashless movement. When you go into a store and they say, whoa, hang on with that cash.
I'm one of those guys.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, we're in America.
Yeah, it seems weird.
Like, you're not going to take my fucking government fiat cash? I don't even know what that means. I just hear fucking people say it when they're mad. The government fiat, this fiat economy. You're not going to, like, yo, we live in America. They take cash. There's a fucking matcha place. You know what matcha is?
No.
It's like this powdered green tea. It's like this new hip shit.
Why do you go to those places? Sorry.
Because there's bad chicks up in there, man. And they do it. They give you like dick powder in there. Like you can get you can get CBD oil and dick powder and fucking whip it all up with some fucking oat milk. It's not bad.
And they'll take your cash.
It's charge only. I'm like, that's gay as shit, dude.
Do they take cash for tips?
The ultimate irony. They have a tip jar out there with fucking...
So, but did you get into it with the clerk there about the cash thing?
I say that's stupid, and then I just move forward. Because, this guy's clearly not fucking... It's not... This failed musician is fucking turned artist, turned whatever, I don't know. He's working on web design or what the fuck he's doing, working the counter. I don't think he was like, you know what, we should just not take cash. I don't think that was his idea. He couldn't even figure out how to charge me extra to put maca in the goddamn drink. I'm like, I want some maca in there. It's like, I don't think we can do that.
I wouldn't know how to do it either. What the hell is that?
It's a powder you scoop in the fucking thing. It's not that hard. I said, just charge me $1 extra and then put that shit in and we'll call it a day. And it blew his fucking mind.
Off menu.
And I didn't tip him that good because he was dumb.
But this Post article, they reference this one Surfside, a Mexican restaurant. They don't have to worry about people stealing money out of the register, no bills for workers to slip in their pockets, no change counting, holding up lines, things like that. But people are concerned that people without bank accounts can't go in and buy things, which is a problem.
Most of these places they set them up in places where rich people are.
Well, now several lawmakers have introduced a bill to require retailers to accept cash.
I think that should be, we've all agreed upon this is what we have, right? Cash, right? I'll be very upset if we go to a cashless society.
How old are you when you need a bank account, though? What about kids who want to go into these places?
I think it was one of them deals. I think my grandfather was like, "You need a bank account." My nunu, and he gave me $5 and was like, "Open up a bank account."
That's nice.
Yeah. I ain't know what to do with the shit. I just had $5 sitting in that bitch forever. I didn't get much money afterwards. Really didn't start stacking chips till later on in my life. But yeah, I had a bank account. They were trying to I didn't have a credit card forever. Like, I don't believe in credit. I was like, this is bullshit. What a fucking scam. Everybody complains about everything. To me, credit is the devil. Credit is the fucking devil.
It can be.
No, it is the devil. They won't allow you to participate in fucking society without going into debt. Think about that shit. Like, I couldn't even fucking rent an apartment. You can't rent a car. You can't buy a home. Doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank.
Really? Are
So
you sure about that? I mean, if you had enough cash, you couldn't just say, okay, I want to solve this problem.
You would have to cash out the house right there. Boom.
Yeah.
You couldn't put half down and then just be like, I'm going to pay you this much. You'd have to cash out the fucking house. Credit, man. That's how they make money off of you. It's a scam. Even my zillionaire homie was like, credit's the worst shit, bro. And he's a zillionaire, bro. I listen to him when he tells me about money. But what are you going to do? You're stuck with it. You got to fucking deal with it. Like, it's a game you got to play. Every student loans, all that shit. Credit. They make money off of interest. They need you to be in debt.
Now, the stories here argue that cash has the hidden costs, armored vehicles taking money to banks, extra hour for workers to close out the register, employees swiping money from the till, and some of their places had been robbed. So those are all weak reasons, it seems like.
Yeah, and here's the strong reason for cash, especially cash tips. The restaurants out here, I've seen them. I've seen them actively fuck their workers out of money. Because you get all these fucking cash tips, and in LA it's communism, so now we pool fucking tips.
Is that real? I mean,
dude, they pool tips out here, man. So then whoever works the least is rewarded the most. That's how that goes, right? If I put in if everyone's chopping it up equally, whoever does the shittiest job wins.
So when I give that bartender $4 or whatever it is, then he splits it with other people in the
I don't
place?
know. He might pocket that shit if he's smart.
Yeah.
But anything charged goes into a pool, some fucking invisible pool that your bosses get to have. They now they got all your money. Like, you don't even know how much money everyone got, and then you get paid out of it. You don't know if they're embezzling. Some of these motherfuckers take the money and pay the fucking cooks who already have an hourly wage. It's ridiculous. California, dude. I'm telling you, I was trying to speak out against it, and I was working with me, and I was working with illegals. It was like, chill, bro.
What?
Don't say nothing. I'm like, this is some bullshit, because I was busting tables, man. I remember I was busting tables. I was bored, so I was busting tables just so I could get back to, like, remembering what it was like to have to work hard for money, you know? And I was like, we're getting fucked right now, guys. And they're like, chill.
Yeah, causing problems.
I'm like, hey, no, chill, man, chill. We're fine, man. Like, I ain't getting kicked out. I'll talk to these motherfuckers. And I did. And then they were like, whatever. I was working 4 days a week. Dinner shifts for 8 months. Never got cashed out on tips. Never got cashed out on tips. And my tip was a Christmas bonus. What do you think? What do you think I got?
$100.
$140. 140. 4 days a week. 16 days a month times 8 months. What was that? 122 days or some shit like that. Some crazy shit like that. It's $1 a day. I got $1 a day in tips. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I'm not with all that. That's the shit I don't like. Yeah, the cashless shit or the cash shit, the employees might be able to fuck you, but the cashless shit, the bosses might be able to fuck you. So, there you go.
Want to see a video of a matador being attacked by, well, not being attacked, but the bull went after him, scalped him.
This is what I like about the matadors, man. People are like, this is fucked up. Like, this is animal cruelty. I'm like, this is a fair shot.
I don't know.
Yeah, the fucking win-loss ratio isn't that great for the fucking bulls, but it's a hell of a lot better than at a slaughterhouse.
So, but this is a guy who previously lost an eye to a bull, and he was seriously injured again when he lost his footing and was gored yet again by the bull here. Juan Jose Padilla.
He's like the Washington Generals of fucking bullfighting. All right, let's see. All right. So the bull's got like 5 daggers in him. My man's taunting him. He's like, come on. Bull. Now the bull sees him. Bull. Oh, here comes the bull. Whoa, zippity-doo. Oh, no, he fell. Oh, shit. Oh, gourd. Oh, his head. Oh, his shit is, it's dangling. Oh, it's dangling.
Oh, my gag reflex is terrible.
Woo.
Ugh. Ouch.
Oh.
I can't even look. I can't look back. I can't. Oh, they got to stitch up half his head.
It looks pretty tough, I'll be honest.
He's a badass, man.
Oh, jeez, look at that scar.
I think, yeah. What a beast.
Would you go to a bullfight if given the chance?
Yeah, why not?
Really? I don't know. What happens when they kill the bull?
I don't know. Do they eat the bull when they're done? I don't. What do they do with the bull when it's over? I don't even know.
I'm guessing they eat it. I don't know.
I hope they do. It'd be wasteful. But like all that bullfighting and hunting shit, way more fair than the goddamn than our industrial, meat packing shit we got going on here that we're all complicit in. They eat the motherfucker. And the bull gets he gets a chance to get some licks in on the motherfucker. And some schlub like me can sit in the fucking, in the audience going, woo!
Have your hot dog. And
yeah, have my hot dog, watch Man vs. Beast. Man versus nature. Hey. All right. Give me some good news.
And now, time for good news.
And, of course, you may have heard about these kids over in Thailand who were trapped in the cave, the 12 boys and the coach from the soccer team. They went to the cave. The cave flooded. They've been trapped in there for 18 days.
I didn't know about this shit.
What are you talking about? You serious?
Kids in Thailand?
Okay. All right, well, here's the thing.
I knew about them rape gangs I was telling you about. You ain't know about the rape gangs.
All right, well, these kids, they were over
Motherfuckers.
These kids, they wound up in the cave because kids like caves. And then
Who doesn't like a cave?
Yeah, come on.
And
then
adventure.
There was this rainstorm, and they got flooded, and they were trapped there. And then,
so the cave flooded, and then they had to go to a high point in the cave?
Yeah, exactly. And they were lost for quite some time. And then all these people from the Thai Navy SEALs, some guys from Britain, they were over there, and they finally found them several days ago. More than that, and they finally all came out today.
They must have been famished and shit. What were they eating?
Well, once the rescuers got there, they gave them some food.
I meant like for the last 18 days. Do they eat each other?
They were a little thin. They were a little thin. Very thin, actually.
How many days in do you be like, we're going to have to eat each other? I'd be like 4 days in. Like, we're going to have to draw straws. I wouldn't even draw straws. I would just pick the weakest, and then we kill them.
Take them out.
Yeah.
But I have a moment.
Yeah,
here.
there's no way I'm a fuck. Oh, this weak motherfucker gets to live, and I drew the shortest straw. Fuck that. Darwin. I can.
But
I'd go for the jugular for the straws.
So here's the moment when the divers emerged from the water and then found the kids, and then they said, "Okay,
now let's see these children."
Yeah, best you can.
Oh, they're so happy.
How many of you? 13. Brilliant.
And it goes on like that, but they were looking for 13, and they found 13.
There you go.
Sadly,
they look skinny.
There was one of the Thai Navy SEALs who died during this, but everybody else.
Damn, a Navy SEAL died.
Yeah.
Looking for these kids.
Yeah, he was.
They better grow up to be doctors.
Yeah. Can you imagine that though? Trapped underground for 18 days.
No, dude.
Scary.
I was stuck at my mom's house for like 18 days. I was going nuts. And I had Wi-Fi.
It's a little different.
All right. That's the news.
You are checking out the All Out Show with Rude Jude on demand.
Shay 4/5. What up, doe? How you doing out there? How you do that? I want to thank Jay Prince, George Jung, Boston George. He will be at the Crow's Foot tonight. $25. Go see him.
I think it's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow. Excuse me. Yay. Hey. Tomorrow. Crowfoot, Pontiac, Yaktown. Jet on the phones, Chris on the boards. John is the news guy and he produces. Alex is the producer and Keenan is the associate producer. Unsung hero, Keenan. Keeps it tight. There it is. My name is Jude Anthony Angelini. I wrote 2 books, Hummingbird, Hyena. You can get them on Audible. Actually, if you sign up for Audible, you can get one for free. Boom. And, or you can just fucking order them. I don't want to fucking toot my own horn, but beep beep, they're the shit. Fuck with the kid. Till tomorrow.